New construction or resale? Each one of us has that question. In this episode, we are going to compare and contrast the goods and the bads of both of these. So the first thing that I tell, it's not about whether you're buying a resale or new home construction. I have helped about 35% of my clients buy new homes, either brand new or they were buying something that was already built but very recent construction. So I've been through all of these and I have been getting my clients the best bargains when I go to the builders, because what happens is I am in touch with them, I am in groove with them, and that just gives me the comparable sense of the market, how they are hurting or how they are doing, how strong they are. So I get the best of pricing when I'm working with new home builders. And a lot of the new home builder agents are on a first name basis with me. So that just helps. Now, having said that, I have literally made an algorithm out of how you want people choose to buy their home. And one of the simplest dictums and jokes that I make out of it is, you love the home the age of your marriage. So if you're just married, you want a completely new construction home. Guess why? What happens is that when you're married, that is probably your most cherished period. You had your romance going, you had the style, the fashion, the music, and the style does not just limit to your clothes, to the car that you use, but your vacations, your home, everything is completely surrounded by that. And with that going on, you will generally like to see a home that is just like current. A huge master bedroom, a huge walk-in closet because you have unlimited clothes, you just got married, huge space in the bathrooms, a shiny kitchen, a great room where you can get together with family or friends, because that's your time when you have a lot of friends and you keep tending to get together. So the simplest dictum is, you love the home the age of your marriage. Now you're going to kill me if you're married for 60 years. So am I going to like a 60-year-old home? No, not necessarily. But that's the joke I love to put forward when I'm working with my clients. But now let's come down to the bottom line. The comparison between a resale property and a new home. A new home is built either on an existing property, you have to tear it down, because here in the Bay Area, we are completely landlocked. We hardly have space around to build. So what is going on here in the Bay Area? There had been times when some of the industrial areas or the neighboring areas would not be developed because of the industrial pollution coming out of the industrial area. And so those lots were vacant for a very, very long time. But now those polluting industries are gone. And so we are seeing a lot of new home construction coming to those areas. So additionally, in those old days, when in the 70s, when it was that last development boom, new home construction would not happen very close to commercial areas, particularly single family, or very close to the freeways. Those would be condominiums, townhomes for most part. So, but now with no space remaining, new home construction is now getting into these areas. The third way that new home construction is happening here in the Bay Area is some of the industrial land is being converted into residential. So suppose there is a huge big vacant office space or industrial shed which is not going to be used for manufacturing purposes, because in the Bay Area there is not much manufacturing anyways. They take those, convert them into residential, and then start building new homes. So not have to be said, those properties are near the older or some industrial neighborhoods. And so these are the 3 or 4 types of neighborhoods in which these new homes are coming. Over the last 70 years, land is not being built, right? That's a real estate saying, that get as much land as possible, because no one is manufacturing it anymore. So that's the other dictum. So in those days, even tract homes were built on 6,000 square feet lot. They would just take an acre of land, say you can build 8 houses on 1 acre, and then if you leave the street or something, you will be between 6 and 7,000 square feet. The lot size tends to keep growing as you go towards the hillside, because when you go to the hillside, the amount of land that you need to leave is much bigger. Residential hillside zoning, for most cities, they will give you a much bigger lot, and that's the reason why you get huge lots in areas like Saratoga, Los Gatos, Los Altos, Almaden Valley, around here in the Bay Area, or on that side, in Alameda, Mission area, or Livermore. They have much bigger lot sizes when they are building these homes. And so these then allow for construction of much larger properties. That's another factor. Now, if you were to buy a home that is 60 or 70 years old, you'll get a 6,000, 7,000 square feet lot. Today, if you are going to buy even a single family home here in Bay Area, guess a 2,200 square feet home is set on a 1,900 square feet lot. So you're getting a lot of that depreciating as asset, the structure or the construction. You are getting very little of the lot. And what appreciates more, the lot or the structure? The structure depreciates. The lot keeps appreciating. So if you are buying a new home versus a resale home, you get much more enjoyment, because a new home is what it is, completely current in style. It also has all new appliances, all new styling, and they are built on current styling. So in terms of enjoyment, they are right smack there. But when you are looking at resale, people are looking at how much lot you got and how much light and air you have in between a home. And then those that realize those benefits at a later date, and they want a yard, they want a garden behind their house, they want a garage where they can park more cars in the front, and a very nice curb appeal and all. In those cases, you will see people gravitate towards the older resale properties. The older resale areas, neighborhoods are 50 or 70 years old developed. And so what happens is that these areas have stabilized, gone through several cycles, and at that time, because the industry, the jobs were right there. Now, the ones that are being developed, even if the jobs are right there, they are either a mix of industrial and residential, or they are far away. Like if you look at Silicon Valley, you have to go all the way to San Jose's south part, or you have to go to Gilroy to really get a single family home that is about 6,000, or Morgan Hill that is about 6,000 square feet lot size or more. So these are all the aspects. Now, so let's compare. You get a 2,400 square feet single family home brand new, and you get a 2,400 square feet single family home resale. The 2,400 single family home is probably going to be on a 1,300 square feet lot, 800 square feet to each floor. That is how the 2,400 square feet is. So you get 3 floors in which that space is divided. Of course it is stylish, it has no HVAC problems, the plumbing is brand new, the paint is awesome, the styling of the kitchen, the cabinets, the pantry, you name it, you got it. Tankless water heaters, even heat pumps instead of the old furnaces. All of these are phenomenal value. But then when you come to the old or resale properties, what happens is you have a HVAC 25 years old. You might have to replace it. Completely understand. When you have to do that, you have to factor a laundry list of items that you will need to do, like replacing the HVAC. The roof might be up for replacement. The plumbing might be up for replacement. In a lot of cases, the electrical does not even have a ground. And when you don't have a ground, a lot of devices that use electronics today, they don't even function. Like my HP laptop has a 3-pin adapter. If some home does not have a 3-pin socket, I cannot even plug my laptop in there and it doesn't work. So all of these things you have to be aware of and make sure that you can fix them. So now let's start itemizing how much this does. So one thing I want to warn people here, that when you think that a new home does not have any maintenance and an old property or resale property has maintenance, think one very important aspect. A home is not a moving car with moving parts. It just sits there. All that is old is if it had asbestos, if they used lead-based paints, if they used HVACs, which were very low efficiency, and then the plumbing being old, maybe cast iron or drain lines being cast iron. So all of these things are there, and you need to then make notes of all these aspects. And when I'm helping my clients buy their resale properties, this is the exact thing that I put down for them. I look at the inspection reports and I say, guys, you're staring at this expense. And then you buy with open eyes. I'm not saying resale is better or new is better. You have to compare and contrast the advantages and disadvantages of it. So now, all of these being old, you can replace them. Guess how much it costs to do all of these if you really wanted to. In a typical home, including with permits, I have seen the cost to be about 100 to 150K. Remember, in Bay Area, typical home value is about $2 million. How much is 150K? It's about 6%, 7%. Do you think really that is a damaging value? And then along with it, you could probably have the repaint done, a new kitchen done, and everything, right? So that is how you play it. With COVID, what has happened is that the new homes, because they use very little space around the property, they have gone down in preference. Because even if it is a single family home, it kind of becomes very tight with very little ventilation around the property. And so single families have had a much bigger appreciation rate as compared to newer homes with much less space, envelope of space around them. And so the appreciation rates on these resale properties have been remarkably high. Even if you buy a brand new home, the appreciation is not that high. I'm not suggesting here that you are buying a home only for appreciation. And I'm not also suggesting that this factor which came about during COVID is going to stay the same. During COVID, the other phenomenon that happened is because remote work was taken for granted, people thought they can buy a property 75 miles from here, say Brentwood or say Tracy, and then they would drive here that once a week that they would easily do. Now, the return to office phenomenon is coming, and so you cannot live that far. And so, the townhomes and condominiums are now going to be back in pressure and demand, because if you have to report to work 5 days a week, guess what is going to happen? That 3-hour commute is just untenable, and that's where you will be messed up. So, I know I spoke a lot, but largely, let me summarize with the differences. A new home has very little maintenance, is extremely good on current styling, and it is very good on all the appliances and current tech, insulation and such when it comes to that. A resale property will have a lot of maintenance list unless you decide to take care of the maintenance upfront. You will probably have to keep dealing with the maintenance. But you get huge yard, a single level home most of the times, a 6,000 square feet lot most of the times, and a much more residential quality neighborhood, because these neighborhoods are now encroaching into the industrial areas. So I hope that summarizes this whole episode. See you on my next one. I hope you liked it. If you did, please share and subscribe to my channel. I will keep bringing such videos to you on a regular basis. Thanks for watching. See you on my next one.